What's up, guys? Hey, I want to welcome you to the NERDGAZIM HOUR podcast. Man, I'm stoked today. Got some really good comic books. This Battle World stuff has really hitting on all cylinders for me. I mean, it's taking stuff like the 2099 stuff. I don't know if you guys remember that from the 90s. It was crap. I don't care what anybody says. It was crap. But this stuff, I guess they're kind of rebooting it. I didn't read a whole lot of it back then, I'll be honest, because what I seen I didn't like. But this stuff is really good. I got some other books to talk about. I'm going to pick up on some books that I didn't get to last week to let you know what I think is a pretty decent buy. But all in all, being it was kind of a short week for me, some really good stuff. So let's get started. But first, before we get started, I want to give out some shout outs to some groups. To some Facebook groups that have helped promote the show. Truly appreciate it. First, it's Comic Jacked on Facebook. Man, those guys, they're great. If you like all guys getting arguments about who could beat up who and why. Okay, I mean that's like that's comic book nerd nirvana for us, is to say, well, Submariner could beat Aquaman. Well, why? And you give an argument on why. And I'm telling you, it's all day long on this page. So go to Comic Jacked on Facebook. Games, toys, comic books, anything nerd related, you're going to dig this site. Next thing I want to tell you about is the Marvelites. Marvelites is basically a group put together to discuss the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I've had people come up to me. The group's been around for a couple years now. I think there's over like 1,000 members, so it's growing steadily. But I've had people come up to me and go, man, I just went and seen the Avengers. I really didn't know what was going on, which I think we can all say that movie, for most of us that knew what was going on, it didn't bother us. But you can imagine never seeing another Marvel movie and go to seeing it, you would be like, what's going on here? So people said they went to that site, kind of searched through some things, and they're like, oh, I understand why Thor did this, and I understand about the Infinity Stones and blah, blah, blah. I've had people come up to me and say that. So awesome, great site to get if you're just getting into the Marvel Cinematic Universe and you're kind of lost. That's a great place to start, man. Another person I want to give a personal shout out to, he's really helped me with the audio and video technical side of things as far as getting this podcast running. It's only my third episode, so stay with me. I'm still learning some things. But Kaiser Allen, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate all your help, all your feedback. I've tried some things this episode, so please hit me back and let me know if it's better, worse, get rid of it, that shit sucks. Just let me know what you think, okay? Let's get into it, man. I'm psyched. I'm pumped about the books this week. So let's get started. Personal favorite of mine. All right. The Iron Fist. The immortal weapon. The Iron Fist. Okay. And I dig this new outfit. This new outfit is kind of like a throwback from the Game of Death with Bruce Lee. It's black with the yellow pinstripes down the sides. Man, I think that is so dope. Played them if you're listening, the developers of Marvel Avengers Alliance. This needs to be an alt costume. This costume. I don't want another Spider-Man. I don't want another Iron Man. I don't want none of that shit. I want another alt with this. This is badass. Okay. I feel like Iron Fist is one of the most underrated characters in the Marvel Universe. Now stick with me. For one thing, I'm a big martial arts guy, kung fu guy, karate, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, all that crap. Okay? So, it speaks to me. This guy does. The whole Orson Randall, I don't know if y'all remember Orson Randall, but he was one of the Iron Fists. He was a big boozer. But what he did was, he didn't have kung fu skills. But he had the power of Shaolin. So what he did is he used his chi to energize weapons, bullets in a gun, for instance. Okay? He could fuck shit up, man. This dude was badass. All right? He was a little off his rocker. Probably not the best moral compass in the world, but he was badass. Now, you take Danny Rand, who's always been kind of Bruce Wayne-ish. And what I mean by Bruce Wayne-ish, I don't mean Batman-ish. Bruce Wayne. Kind of flighty, kind of goofy. Danny Rand never really spoke to me as a superhero or somebody that would have the drive and determination to kill the heart of the dragon to get to Iron Fist powers. You know what I'm saying? But what Kara Kyle Andrews has done here has made Iron Fist relevant again. She's not really retold the story, but gave you more information so you can kind of see where Danny Rand's motivation is and where everything come from. And really, he's pretty broken as an individual and even as a superhero. I think we can all agree to that. But she really highlights his power set in this run. Okay, now this is the last book. This is not none of the Battle World stuff. Okay, because we all know in the Marvel Universe, the multiverse has collapsed. All that's done. It's done. All right, this book, last book. Okay, and they actually wrap up the story. So this is the conclusion of all the other issues, and this is issue 12. So the previous 11 issues told a story. This is kind of the aftermath. Now I'm gonna break it down for you. All right. Kunlun destroyed. All right. Danny's fight, Iron Fist fight with the big bad of this arc, destroyed it. All right. He brought back a god, all on the way to get somebody's mother back. I don't want to give away any spoilers in case you buy the trade, and you should. This is really good. This will be well worth the money in trade, the trade price. Which, for all you people that don't know, a trade paperback is the reprints of the original issues. So say you want to learn about, what did he say? The multiverse collapsed? What the fuck is he talking about? He's drank too much today. Yes, I have drank too much today. But no, the multiverse has collapsed. All right? And if you want to go back and get Hickman's run on the Avengers and explain all that, well worth the money in trade, because that was some really, really good stuff. Not for kids. Kids, unless they're little Stephen Hawking's, they're not going to understand time travel, folding of dimensions, this space, that space. They're not going to get it. You will. If I did, you can for sure. But that'd be a great trade to get. If you like the Iron Fist, another great trade to get. Now, back to this story. So this is the aftermath. Now, there's been a woman in this arc the entire time. Her name's Brenda Swanson. I believe that's right. Brenda Swanson. She was a reporter that was interviewing Danny for an article when the shit hit the fan. And of course, Danny, being a blonde-haired billionaire, was shagging her. Alright? Of course he was. Like I said, he's kind of Bruce Wayne-ish. Anyway, the shit hits the fan. Well, as the shit's hitting the fan, Brenda is doing a marvelous job of handling herself. Which led me to say, probably in issue 4 or 5, something to this chick. Well, this issue, and I was really getting upset because they weren't addressing it. And I'm like, wait a minute. She just fought off 6 ninjas. And then she says, oh, I took some Taekwondo as a kid. No, you didn't. And if that's true, that was crap story writing. I'm going to tell you right now. That wasn't the case. I knew it wasn't the case. And it's not. She has a secret. Imagine that. Chick with a secret. Let me tell you. It's pretty cool. Danny brings a proposition to her. He digs her. And this huge fight ensues. Alright? And it's really neat. It was really cool. I figured this was just going to be like a tie-up episode or tie-up issue to kind of wrap the whole storyline up, because Secret Wars has started. Battle World has started. So let's finish this run up, okay? Nah. Tells a great single issue story. Even if you haven't read the previous 11 issues of this, you read this and you're going to go, damn, I want to check out the rest of this. I want to know the backstory to this chick. I want to know what happened to Danny all these issues ago. Great book. I don't want to give it away. Oh, and also, there's another Iron Fist. All right? A little Iron Fist, as I like to call him. So, check that out. Really good stuff. I don't know where any of these issues are going to go because, like I said, we don't know how Marvel is going to shake up their universe after Secret Wars. All we know is that issues are ending. We don't know what's coming back. We don't know how it's going to come back. We don't know who's going to survive Battle World. We do not know who's going to survive Battle World. Now, without further ado, let's get to the Battle World stuff because this shit's dope. All right. Secret Wars 2099, number 1. Okay, there's the cover. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. You got, looks like Captain America, Iron Man. Looks like somebody with some claws and some wings, and a chick that looks maybe like she may be cybernetically enhanced. It might be a Black Widow symbol on her back there. It's kind of half cut out, but it is Black Widow once you start reading the issue. Now I'm gonna tell you, this was something new to me. Like I said, I didn't. If I did read any of the 2099 stuff, I didn't like it, and I don't remember any of it because I didn't like it. I have a very selective memory like that. But the world in 2099 is ran by a company called Alchemax. Okay, basically they control everything. Now, again, I'm probably going to say this until this Battle World stuff's done for people just joining in. Battle World is what's left of the Marvel multiverse. Each realm or each place in Battle World has a province or a region that's ran by a certain ruler. Okay, this place is ran by the leader or the CEO of Alchemax. I don't remember his name offhand. They only had him in a few panels, so it's something to be further explained. They have a team of Avengers, okay, that kind of enforce and keep the peace. Now, this team of Avengers, and the one person that's on this team that's not on the cover, which now strikes me as kind of odd, is Hercules. All right, there's some guys are stealing some stuff. These Avengers get called in, and Captain America, who's a woman in this, okay, I believe her name's Brenda. She is like, okay, let's stop these guys, but keep property damage at a minimum. Hercules is like, I got this. All right. Hercules takes off. He's battered down quickly. He's thrown into a car, and he runs into this car, and the girl's like, hey, you just crashed my car. And he's like, hey, you're very attractive. How would you like to have the Prince of Power on your lap? You know, he's drunk, come to find out. All right. He's drinking a liquor store a day. Because I was like, how would Hercules get drunk? Well, he drinks a liquor store a day. That would probably do it. So Hercules is dysfunctional as shit. All right. Come to find out, they're all crazy. Iron Man is the only one. And we don't know if this is Stark or not. I'm not sure the 2099 Iron Man is Stark. I'm curious to see who it is. I don't Google or Wikipedia a lot of this stuff because I like for it to be a surprise. So and I might not even tell you even if I knew because I want you to be surprised as well. But this is really good as far as it looks like it's going to be a character study of these guys. Hercules obviously has problems. Later in the issue, you find out why he's drinking a liquor store day. There's a reason, okay? Black Widow is probably borderline sociopath. Captain America has to call her down from basically just executing a guy. But they're all like, that's kind of what she does, you know? Well, this Captain America is not having it. She looks to be the rock, the glue of this team. Until we get to the end of the issue. Cap's got some baggage too. It's a little different, something I wasn't really expecting, and that's what I've liked about all this Battle World stuff. They're really telling some pretty concrete stories. Now, these are first issues, so they're just beginning to tell a story. Let's give them 3 or 4 issues if they make it that long, and let's find out, you know, how it plays out. But Secret Wars 2099 #1, pretty good buy. If you love the 2099 stuff in the past, you should definitely get it. There's probably a bunch of Easter eggs in here that I didn't catch that you will. So, and if you think about it, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on my YouTube channel, and let me know because I would like to know more about this from the people who actually read the 2099 back in the day. Okay, now next book, Battle World, Inhumans, New Attila Rising. Okay, and you can see Medusa's up there with that hair, looking badass. Okay. Again, Battle World. New Attila is a region inside of Battle World ran by Medusa. All right. Big shocker there, okay? Now, we start the book not in New Attila though, but in Greenland. And if you watched the show last week, I talked about Planet Hulk. All right. Greenland is the region where all the Hulks are. Okay? And if all the Hulks are kind of nuts, okay, we don't really know why. We think, well, they're gamma irradiated. They're crazy because gamma rays drove them nuts, right? Maybe not the case. We have a group that shows up called the Voice Unheard, and it's looks to be a group of Inhumans. Okay, I don't know. I recognized some of them I did not. And then as the story progressed, I was like, oh, I remember them now. But some of them you'll recognize from the last run of the Inhumans before Battle World started. So not a huge surprise there. One of them, that was the one guy that was with them that was a shock to me, that was really cool, was the G-Man. Who's the G-Man, you say? Well, when you take one look at him, you're going to know. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. Okay, I thought it was really cool because you haven't seen this character in the main Marvel universe in a while. They've really tried to do things with this character and bring him to life, and it just hasn't worked. But he's a super cool character. I've always dug him. So the G-Man, he gets captured. Basically, they're in Greenland, and they get attacked by one of these Hulks. It's called a Dust Hulk, I think they said. He was crazy, kind of hard to take down, but they basically sprayed this stuff in his face, and he was like, whoa, what's going on? All right, so the guy, he's not crazy. Something was making him crazy, and basically they said, that's what we're here to do, is liberate you guys. We're the Voice Unheard. All right? Now, who hears this, or who's patrolling? The Thor Corps. And if you've seen the first episode, you know how I feel about the Thor Corps, man. They're badass. All right? I mean, it's just a police force of Thors. And they go around patrolling all the regions, keeping Doom, the Allfather Doom, who runs Battleworld, all of it. Okay? They're keeping, they're trying to keep the peace. They're trying to keep Doom's policies, rules intact and enforced. All right. So they see what's going on. They head down and find out. The G-Man's like, you guys make a break for it. I can handle these clowns. And you're like, what? No, you can't. But they're like, all right, we're out. See you. Peace. Bye. So they take off. G-Man's, takes the Thor Corps on chase. They capture him, send him to New Attila. Medusa, being, the head cheese, it's like, what's he doing here? He broke one of Doom's rules. Why is he in New Attila? New Attilan. And they're like, and Doom, like, this astral figure shows up, and he's like, look, this is what you're going to do for me. New Attilan is crucial to me. Now, we all know comic books. They don't drop little clues, little hints like that. It doesn't mean something in the future. So New Attilan is something, or New Attilan, however you want to say it, is crucial to this story arc. So he said, look, I need to figure out who's doing this and who's trying to liberate the Hulks. Because that cannot happen. That's out. So Medusa's like, whatever you want, I'm your girl. I'll take care of it. I'll rule this place. It's on. I've got it. So what she does is she has a agent, and I think a lot of people know her, especially if you read the last run of the Inhumans. She puts her in motion to do like some undercover work to find out who this Voice of the Unheard is. Now, they're running scared right now, the Voice of the Unheard, because G-Man has been captured, and they're like, he's going to talk. He's going to talk. He's going to tell her everything. We need to get out of town. We need to get out of Dodge. And they're like, where are we going to go? And there's also a guest appearance by somebody that helps the Voice Unheard, who had a Scottish accent. So I thought that was pretty cool. This guy you haven't seen in any of the Battle World stuff yet, so it's pretty neat that we're seeing him. I won't give it away, but it was a pretty nice little Easter egg, if you know who I'm talking about. Okay, a new Inhumans. I'm really digging it. Like to see where it goes. Again, it's the first issue, so let's give it a couple. All right, next book. The Infinity Gauntlet, #1. And you can see there we got Starlord, looks like, Thanos, and a group of Nova Corps. All right. Very strange issue, and I'll tell you why. Not meaning bad, not strange bad by any means. You're following a group around, and it's post-apocalyptic, very Walking Dead-ish. You got a group of survivors, this family, and as the story goes on, you find out that the bugs have came. Now, immediately I go to the Annihilation Wave with Annihilus and his bug army. I don't know if that's them or not. Could be, kind of look like them. And we know Annihilus has a region in Battle World, so probably is. So this family, as the story goes on, they're just trying to survive. They're trying to survive. Their mother, it's a father, a grandfather, or I'm sorry, yeah, grandfather, father-in-law, two daughters, and they're basically, like I said, trying to survive. They're trying to run from these bugs, and you find out that their mother was Nova Corps. She took off, and the kids are kind of bitter, and the dad's like, hey, look, they don't know if she's alive or dead, and they think that there's a question whether she's dead or alive. Why would she leave us? And she hasn't came back, so she must be dead. The father and the grandfather have words. It was kind of like a family drama, and then the bugs show up, and then they're on the run. And then there's surprise ending. Now, what's interesting about this is there's somebody following them, and one of the girls notices a shadowed figure following them, and you don't know who it is until the end of the issue, and then you're like, what? Like, I was kind of, I don't know if it's who I think it is, and who I know it is. I'm really curious on why he's following them. I know why he's following them. I'm trying not to give anything away. Read the issue. It's pretty good. Another one of these very, very, very promising start. I'm curious. They've already kind of made me start feeling for the family. So I'm really curious on where this goes. Infinity Gauntlet #1. It's worth checking out. All right, now I'm gonna get to some books from last week. Oh no, wait, I have 2 books from this week still. All right, now you guys have watched the previous shows know I have a Nerdgasm pick of the week. All right, now very, very tough to pick one. So I said, screw it. It's my fucking show. I ain't gonna stress over it. I'm gonna give them both the honor because they both deserve it. And I'll give you the reasons why. The first one I'm going to tell you about is Star Wars. Star Wars #5. Okay. Jason Aaron he's a genius, is what he is. This takes me back. Just the way that it reads, the characters read, it's like watching them on screen again. Han Solo and Leia. I mean, I'm telling you, if you buy these books, if you buy the Star Wars, just buy the first 5. And if you don't like them, stop collecting comic books. Stop fucking reading, okay? Because you're wasting it. You're whatever energy you do reading, you're wasting it. Because if you don't like it, you're not reading it right. You're not getting nothing out of it. Stop doing it. These are amazing. They're really good. It's like going back into the 70s and watching the original TV show or the original movie, but with new stories. And I think it's what we've all been wanting, right? All been wanting. So Leia and Han's banter is amazing. Now, the reason this is a Nerdgasm pick of the week, one of the picks of the week, Boba Fett. Last issue, Darth Vader is on the hunt for the Jedi that destroyed the Death Star. Okay? These take place, if you didn't know, these take place right after the Death Star, the destruction of the Death Star. Okay, the Rebel Alliance has some momentum, and they're trying to capitalize on it. But the Empire is still very much a part of this universe. They're not done yet. So Han and Leia, they're running their Rebel missions with Chewie in the background, R2D2, C3PO, and last issue, Vader contracted a certain bounty hunter to find the Jedi that blew up the Death Star, Boba Fett. Now, just like in the Darth Vader book that has recently came out from Marvel, they make a Boba Fett. Now we know why people fear Boba Fett. Honestly, if you ever read anything, and I've read some of the expanded universe stuff, Boba Fett's badass and he's skilled and all that. But, I mean, really, was he that intimidating? There's a lot of Mandalorians that wear badass looking armor. I mean, don't make you a badass. Holy shit. Boba Fett, badass. Badass. Reason it's the Nerdgasm pick of the week. He goes to a cantina on Tatooine looking. That's where his lead has took him to, is Tatooine. He's looking for who was there recently, and he's followed Luke to Tatooine. Luke has went to Tatooine to visit the lair of Ben Kenobi. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's basically left the Rebel Alliance because he don't know where his place is. And that's kind of typical Luke, right? He's kind of whiny. No, I don't know what to do in my life. I'm not even a good Jedi. You're right. You're not yet. So he takes off, leaves Han and Leia, the rest of the Rebel forces to fend for themselves. He goes to Tatooine to visit Ben's lair to see if he can find something that tells him what the hell I'm supposed to do. I have no guidance. I can't teach myself something I don't know. So Boba Fett's followed him there. Now he goes in his cantina and he wants answers. And ain't nobody leaving till he gets them. And I'm telling you, you need to check this out. I said episode. Like, I swear to God, it was like watching TV. Star Wars number 5. Get it. It's great. Love where it's going. The very last page. This next issue, we're going to have a smackdown, and I cannot wait. So, great book. One of the Nerdgasm picks of the week. Now, my second pick of the week. And it might have been my top pick, to be honest. Old Man Logan, number 1. Now, if anybody knows, has watched the show, they know I love Jason Aaron, and my other favorite writer is Mark Miller. Holy shit. This dude can write. Everything he does is gold. Everything he does turns into a movie. It's that good, which doesn't mean the movies are good, but the source material is good. Trust me. Old Man Logan is based on a world that Mark Miller created in the Old Man Logan series. If you haven't read that, stop what you're doing. Turn this podcast off. Get away from your computer, your phone, whatever. Get in your car. Go to Books A Million, your comic book store, wherever, and buy the trade paperback Old Man Logan. It's basically a story of Old Man Logan, who was tricked by Mysterio into killing all the X-Men. He killed all of his friends, his loved ones, family for Logan, and he swore never to pop his claws again. Basically becomes a farmer, has a family. Who shows up? Blind Hawkeye. Hawkeye's got some shit to do. I need you back. I need a wingman. I need you to have my back. That's fine, but I ain't popping my claws. I ain't asking you to. I'm just asking you to be my eyes. Okay? They go on a little journey. I won't spoil the rest of it, but that's basically the world. The Red Skull has basically taken over everything. Okay? Now, in this, we're not real sure who's running things. Not real sure. It doesn't say. We know somebody's running it. Okay, it was the Hulks, but if you read the first Old Man Logan series, Logan took them all out. Another reason to get the trade, you think? Yeah, I think so. So we're not sure who's running things here. Basically, Logan's out righting wrongs. It's got a very Western feel to it, a very noir feel to it. Western noir, I don't even know if that is a genre, but it looks really great. And basically, Logan shows up to a card game. You got a guy in a Daredevil outfit. You got a big dude they call Gladiator wearing an Iron Man helmet. Okay, this is kind of the world. The heroes have been destroyed. Red Skull destroyed everybody. So the world's in chaos. So Logan's, like I said, out righting wrongs. Shows up this card game and just this book. It's not a Marvel Max book, which I don't even think they do those anymore, but it probably could have been. Very violent, very graphic. I mean, there's like panels with like ears and pieces of face getting shredded off. Logan's been dead for what, a year now? And you read this, and you're going to be like, damn, man, I've missed the Logan, because it's just violence. And who doesn't love that shit, especially in a comic book? So, this excellent book. He has a run-in with Emma Frost, which produced an ending that I didn't see coming. I was like, oh, shit. So, nice little oh, shit moment there at the end of this book. And I'm really, really looking forward to how this plays out. I mean, if I had to get, it'd be a toss-up between this or Star Wars. If I only had one $5 bill to spend, I don't know what I would get. Star Wars was really good too, man. But Old Man Logan might have taken the cake for me. Great, great book. Check it out. You'll like it. All right. Books from last week I didn't get to. Deadpool Secret Wars. Okay. If you can see that or not. All right. Now, disclaimer. I'm not the biggest Deadpool fan in the world. And please do not turn the podcast off right now because I said that. I think he's a badass. But depends on who's writing him. But sometimes he gets a little too campy and too corny for me. But this issue was really funny. And what made it so funny was they basically took, Colin Bunn basically took the Secret Wars from the 90s, the first Secret Wars, okay, and interjected Deadpool in it. So, and I've been wanting to dig out my old Secret Wars just to see pound for pound how it played out. But man, it's really funny. And Deadpool is like trying to tell these guys, hey, I'm the good guy. I'm a good guy. I'm team good guy. Let's go. And when he goes to kill people, you know, Cap's looking at him. He goes, oh, I really wasn't going to kill him. You know, I just wanted to scare him some. I mean, Deadpool at his best, I think. Really good. If you love Deadpool, it's a must buy. It really is. I mean, actually, again, I laughed out loud a couple times reading this. So, Deadpool Secret Wars, pretty good. Now, Starlord. Last issue of Starlord. It was kind of an issue, not a lot of Starlord in it. I'll be honest. It's Starlord's sister. Okay, and if you didn't know that Starlord had a sister, well, this might have been a little spoiler, but it's his half sister, Victoria, and she's got some daddy issues of her own with Jason, which we all know is Peter Quill's dad, the King of Spartax, or was the King of Spartax. Peter's actually the King of Spartax now, but that's in another run. But it's basically a tie-up issue. It's basically about Victoria, and the collector's in it. And I always like the collector. He's such an odd being, and he's more of the Benicio del Toro collector than the collector that we know from the Marvel Universe. So I thought that was kind of interesting. They're trying to change his look a little bit and humanize him some, but pretty good. If you like Starlord, if you like Guardians, which I do, you'll dig it. And that's the last book that I have for this week. Guys, I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm telling you, this has been a really good week. The Battle World stuff's are really, really good. With my Nerdgasm pick of the week, I try to, like I said, if you got $5 to spend, you got $10 to spend, get those 2 books. You won't be disappointed. Trade paperbacks are great. Get those because some of the originals of these can be a little pricey. And I know like Star Wars has gone into, I think, a 3rd and 4th printing on the 1st and 2nd issue. So check those out. Get the trades when they're available. Marvel Unlimited is something that I also do. It's an app for your tablet, your phone. You can read it on the bus. You can read it on a plane. You can download to read offline later, like if you're traveling in an airplane and don't have the Wi-Fi set up. And if something comes out this month It usually takes between 3 to 5 months to come out on the Unlimited app. Now, they're constantly each week adding tons and tons and tons of stuff. So I own it. I've had it since it came out. I use it so I don't have to break out my back issues out of my boxes. I can just go search, boom. A lot of your major storylines are there. All your good stuff. And like I said, they're constantly adding stuff every day. So Marvel Unlimited may be something to you, but if you've never been and you've always wanted to go to your local comic book shop. Go introduce yourself. If they're any good at all, they'll ask you what you like, what you're into. Those guys can show you what you can get. They'll show you the trades that are on sale, and they have sales all the time. Memorial Day sales. They're always having sales. They're always trying to promote new business. So go out to your local comic book shop, support those guys. If digital's your thing, that's cool too. I like to utilize both. I like having a book in my hand, but I think that digital media is fine as well. If that's all you can do, there's great stories out there, and people are just now with the movies being so popular. People are wanting to get into comic books more and more and more. It's one of the reasons I created this show. I want to help people that like going to a comic book shop and not knowing what to get or what to buy. It would be daunting if it was my first time. I've been going to the comic book shop since I was 6 years old, so it was always like a treat for me, and I always relished it every time I went. I still do, So thank you very much for tuning in. I don't know if I've got some viewers on Periscope or not. Looking, didn't know if we had any questions. I don't see any questions. It makes me sad. I was wanting questions. But, okay. Till next week, guys. Battle World stuff is great. Check out Old Man Logan. Get the Star Wars. It's on issue 5. Check them out on eBay. There's a second, third print. You should probably get them pretty cheaply. And that's all I got. So thank you again for tuning in. I'll be back next week with a new stack of books, and we'll gas them out, brothers. All right. Peace. See you later.